Hey there guys, it's DMO73 back with another spoiler article. Man, these just keep coming from Moon Priestess Returns. But before we jump into the new article, I want to show something. Yesterday was April Fool's and we got fooled. So just here, the Milky Way we talked about before, how it had an effect, making it so you couldn't lose the game if you controlled certain cards. That was a lie, total lie. The real card effect is right here. Continuous resonators your opponents control cannot be targeted by spells or abilities. The only way I can see this really being useful is if you can in fact play addition fields on your opponent's side of the board, because then it's just, oh, it's a 1-drop, I put it on your side of the board, you get to draw a card, but I make it so everything on my side of the board is untargetable. So I'll have to see whether or not that's actually how this works. Otherwise I don't really know exactly what this card is going to do. But that's just the update, because we did indeed get April Fools by them with that card that they put out yesterday. So back to this new article. It is very Unchained, The Little Prince. So it's all about some more Prince support, and it's all pretty much all light. And it's about the story The Little Prince. So again, another great example of a really awesome fairy tale. So also Grimm's going to see some support out of this. So it's going to be interesting. So let's just jump right in here. The Little Prince is a 2-drop light fairy tale. All he does is he gains 400 for every different total cost among resonators you control that don't share this resonator's total cost. So if you control him, a 1-drop, a 3-drop, and a 4-drop, he becomes a 14/14. So he gets big real quick, especially with some of the cards that he synergizes with. The other thing is, if your life is 1,000 or less, you gain 1,000 life as soon as he gets bored. So bam, instant life recovery. This is going to be really helpful in Pandora decks automatically, because you're wanting to get your life low so that you can activate the new Pandora into Grimmia pretty quick. So this immediately lets you just recover that 1,000 life back. That is just awesome. So I'm really excited to see that. Then his kind of synergy card, I the Pilot. All of this artwork, first off, is beautiful. I really like the art here, but this one I think is my favorite. I like this little like teacup, like coffee mug cat thing. Anyway, he is a 3-drop 8/8, so automatically he's going to trigger Little Prince if he's on the board. Also a fairy tale, also a prince. So that's good to know. He's got an awakening ability, 1 light, 1 colorless. Search your main deck for a Little Prince, put it into your field, and trigger its enter ability. So think of this as like tell a fairy tale with a body, but just for the Little Prince. But that's amazing, because Little Prince would then immediately become a 6/6, and you can gain some life. So it's kind of a high cost, but he's a huge body anyway as an 8/8. And he rests something when he enters the board, so that's automatically good. Swing in, make something targetable for an attack. And then, when Little Prince is put into your graveyard from anywhere, from your field, you get 1,000 life. So again, we're talking about recovery. My first thought, they mentioned this in the article, and of course my first thought here is these cards are going to combo really well with Cinderella, because if Cinderella does damage, these guys are princes, so you can search for them, which is awesome. And then the other thing is, it's put into your graveyard from your field, which means that you could technically like have a Cinderella on board, hit I the Pilot, summon a Little Prince with I the Pilot, and then immediately use Cinderella to banish the Little Prince, and then you'll get another 1,000 life straight from there. So if you're playing, Light Dark Grimmia, and you have Cinderella and you're low on life, and you've already J-activated for Grimmia, play I the Pilot, get out Little Prince, immediately get 1,000 life, so put you back up. Then use Cinderella on Little Prince, bam, another 1,000 life. And you've immediately recovered almost half your life that you lost in order to make Grimmia playable. So this is some really awesome support that I think is going to make the new Pandora / Grimmia a really fun deck to play. That life gain recovery is a really important mechanic for that. And then this is probably my favorite card of the new spoiler. First off, the artwork is amazing. It's just the mind-reading fox. It's from the novel that all this stuff comes from, so that's all, more synergy in that regard. New type of resonator, got a fox. But the thing is, it's a 4-drop, 8/8, hexproof. Completely and totally hexproof. This is the first card in this game to be completely hexproof just by its own merit. So having a 4-drop 8/8 that can't be targeted by anything, so it's always gonna stay safe, is awesome. And I can't wait to see exactly what kind of happens with this. But this is just a generic body that is gonna always stay on board, always be a threat, and you're not gonna be able to remove it unless you can manage to swing over its attack. So that's awesome. And then last thing is the Sweet Rose, which again is going to synergize really well with the Prince cards. I think it's going to make Black-White Grimia a deck, you know, Princes, and also Black-White Grim. That'll be interesting to see. I'm excited to see that. And it just makes it so that added Resonator gains 300, 300, but if it's a Prince, it gains 600, 600, and target attack. So this makes it so, like, your, I the Pilot is suddenly a 14-14 target attack. That's on par with Mephistopheles, with no negatives. And, like, Fairy Tale Prince could become an 8/8 plus its power bonus, with target attack, so it can just like start popping over stuff. So I think this gives light decks that kind of versatility and big bodies that it needs. Could give it that big body that it needs to keep up with dark decks that run like Mephistopheles and stuff. Just because the fact that Mephistopheles is a 15-15 with target attack and flying, I mean, it's just like, oh, you have a ruler, it's dead because Mephistopheles is still on board. So this card is going to be kind of like Light's answer to that, and I think it's going to be really cool. Plus, it is going to be a way to kill Mephistopheles, because if they have a Mephistopheles on board, you can, make something huge and then target attack it, even if it's untapped. So suddenly swing out of nowhere. Plus the idea of just, hey, here's an extra 600 for game. I think of maybe possibly playing like True Little Red Fairy Tales with Princes. I mean, and then suddenly you have a 12-12 target attack bonus to anything. I mean, I think that's just going to be nuts. So yeah, there's a lot of different interactions that are going to happen from all this stuff, but it's going to be really awesome. Let me know in the comments down below, guys, what you think of these spoilers. It's just 4 cards. What do you think of them? Are you really pumped about Little Prince? Do you think it's a waste of a super slot? What kind of decks do you think you could see yourself running this in? All of that stuff. And as always, like, comment, and subscribe. Check back in every single day. If there's a new spoiler article, I'll get it posted. And as always, I have matches on Wednesdays and deck profiles on Saturdays. So as always, guys, thanks again, and this is DMO73 signing off.